So today is actually day 204. I've missed the last 2 days. And as you can probably see from my video on day 201, I didn't do so well on the weekend with my self-care. It was a real challenging weekend for me, and I just kind of got super exhausted and ended up getting really annoyed at my husband on Sunday and just didn't cope very well with working back in the cafe. So that was the first time that I've worked back in the cafe all summer. It was the busiest weekend of the year for us, so I went in there for certain reasons. However, I know now that I will not be working in the cafe again. And I made that really clear and just really realized that I have to stand strong in my knowing that it's not good for me. And this weekend working in there really highlighted again why it's not good for me and what it actually does to me. So on a physical level, I totally bombed out on my 7-day challenge. I didn't do the last 2 days. I just couldn't. After being on my feet all day and just feeling completely exhausted, I did not have the energy to go home and do anything. And then on an emotional level, also just feeling completely drained and exhausted and basically wanting to just lie down and shut the world out. Yeah, and then on a mental level, also totally overstimulated because being a cook in a kitchen and running a kitchen is a very high stress job, and it involves a lot of coordination and a lot of different things all going on at once, and it is very mentally stressful. And then spiritually, just really not being connected to myself. And so this weekend really kind of took me back to where I was last summer and the previous years working in the cafe. And it was kind of a good reminder for me and an experiment to really bring it back home to see on what levels working in that way affects me. And it's on every level that it affects me and depletes me. And sometimes we really don't understand how deeply something is depleting us until we have a break from it and then go back to it, and then we can really, really understand it. And basically, you know, my health is my main focus in life. My health, to be healthy, my body, mind, and spirit and emotions to be really, really healthy in that way. And I am not really, really healthy in all those areas. It's a constant journey for me, as I think it is a constant journey for everybody. However, it's my focus in my life. And so when I realize that I'm doing something or working at something that is really not good for me, I have to make that decision to not do it. And this decision has been really hard for me to make, and it's been a long time coming. It's actually taken me years to take myself away from the cafe, and it's been very hard. However, now, just after working this weekend, I'm like, yeah, I've made the best decision for my health on so many levels to be away from it. And you know, I'm still now even working in here too much because I work on Mondays and Tuesdays, doing all the sweets and preparing all those kind of things for the week, and already that's too much for me. Actually, just being in the building is too much for me. And this is what happens when we are working in a place that isn't good for us. There's been a bit of trauma there, there's been hardship in that workplace, and it's not resolved. And it can be a place where we come to and we can feel all that energy still in the air. And basically the best thing to do is to create a life where we don't have to be in that workplace anymore. And if we are determined enough, we can do it no matter what. And you know, financially it can be really, really scary. However, if we don't have our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, and our physical health, it doesn't matter how much money we have or where we are financially, because we won't be able to enjoy anything. We won't be able to enjoy life. So it's really important to make those decisions, those difficult decisions sometimes, so that we can look after our health, which is what we need to live life to the fullest and really bring all that we are as a human being out into the world. And after this weekend, it's really shown me how much it's affected my eating, how much it's affected my sleep, how much it's affected my inspiration, how much it's affected my energy for life, and just everything so much. So working in an environment that depletes me is just depleting me on so many levels. And it makes me think about how so many people are living that life every day and not knowing what it's like to actually live a life where we can live it by our own design and live it by our own genius. And I've been really lucky because I've been an entrepreneur for, 15 years. I've relied on myself a lot to create my own income, and I'm very self-driven, and I won't stay in something that doesn't bring me happiness. This is the longest time that I've actually stayed in something that has not brought me happiness. It's been a long time coming, and it's been a really interesting process, and I have grown a lot out of it and learnt a lot of valuable lessons out of it, which I will take into my life and which will help me in my future. However, I was brought up in a way that kind of allowed me to really expand my mind and make sure that I understood that I was in control of the life that I wanted to live and where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and that I didn't have to put up with things that were creating sickness and sadness and depression in my life, and that it's up to me to actually change my life and create the life that I truly want. And I just feel for so many people who are stuck in these jobs that just deplete them on so many levels. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, and I am working on finding a way to be an inspiration for people to create the life that they really want. And that is a goal in my life, to actually help people with that. So this is day 204. If you've liked this video, please press the like button. And if you relate to anything I'm talking about in here, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and you can subscribe to my channel so you get notifications when I put up my new videos.